Okay, Tyree, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses for your Polo 2103 color 55, size 55, color 5284, which is the matte black with the red rider. All right, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is trace the shape of your frame. I'm going fast. I got a lot of ground to cover because I want to show you how your transition lenses with anti-glare darken. So I'm tracing your frame. And get everything ready. Type in your pupillary distance. Okay. I'm putting your Italian frame into my Italian edger, my Santinelli LE1000. Actually, I stand corrected. Your Polo frame is made in China, along with my iPod, my computer, my television, my microwave, my electric toothbrush, probably every part of my car. Okay, so let me type in your pupillary distance. Got that, and let me just double check everything. Yes, it is. Sorry, I just had to turn that over to so no one knows your email or phone number. We are good. This is a polycarbonate lens, the unbreakable polycarbonate lens, bulletproof up to 22 caliber, and has both UVA and UVB protection. I went ahead and put this block on your lens. This is what's going to hold it in place while it's cutting. And I am going to go ahead and get started. Put this into the chuck and hit start. And the first thing that's going to happen is this is going to come down and trace the shape of your frame onto the lens. Make sure it is large enough lens, which it should be. I would not order a lens unless it is. In fact, this is going to get dirty, and I better close this so you can see what's going on. So it's tracing the concave side of your lens first. That's the lens that's closest to your eyelashes. Now it's tracing the convex side of the lens. The actual cutting wheel is down here at the bottom. It is the lighter color wheel. It's like a heavy grit sandpaper, and this is going to grind away most of your polycarbonate and get it to the shape. Now this wheel in the center is actually going to put the bevel onto it so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. This is going to get a little bit loud, but I want you to see your lens as it touches the cutting wheel. And then I will close the door so I can continue talking. Now, when you emailed me, you said you had tried on this Polo frame somewhere else and it fit really well, but I do want to remind you that 99% of all optical shops do free adjustments. So if this is too loose or too tight, or if it's high on one side or the other, just stop by your local optical shop and ask them if they do free adjustments. And just tell them if it's too loose, too tight, crooked, they'll know what to do. It only takes about 30 seconds to adjust a frame. Now your prescription reads -1 1/4 sphere in your right eye. Everything, now that is a diopter. That is a unit of measurement like an ounce or a gallon. We do it in diopters. It's 1.25 diopters. And everything is in quarter increments. So 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4. So you have 5 steps of minification. Without your glasses on, things are actually too large. So your glasses will minify, even though that's not a real word in the dictionary. It is the opposite of magnify. You have no astigmatism correction in the right eye. You do in your left. This reads -1, -50 at 103. So you only need 4 steps of correction in your left eye, but you need 2 steps of correction for your astigmatism. And there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. Someone has straight hair, someone has curly hair. If you notice, the lens is completely flat. It is now putting the bevel onto the lens. So this first box gets everything in the correct size. It minifies. This takes away the fuzzy edges. So 6s and 8s, P's and F's don't look alike. That's what the astigmatism correction is. Takes away those fuzzy edges. Now the lenses you are getting from me are, not only are they polycarbonate, which means that they're virtually unbreakable and bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection, but it's an aspheric lens, meaning that it's flatter. It's not spherical. You don't get the unwanted fishbowl appearance from cheap plastic lenses that most people are going to sell you online. Of course, when you buy the frame from me, you get free single vision prescription lenses 99% of the time. And if you have an extremely strong prescription, which I don't cover for free, you just pay my cost, which is around $30. Now, since you got the free lenses, you pay the $40 upgrade to the transition, and the $30 upgrade to the anti-glare. So that's all you paid on top of the $150 for this frame. I'm sorry, $170. This frame sells for $170. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this out of the chuck, and you still have a little bit of rough edges on the edge of your lens as it comes out. So I'm going to use my hand stone, put what's known as the safety bevel, and actually let's dry everything off here so I do not drop your lens. And I'm going to scrape, using my thumbnail, scrape off any of the extra debris that is on your lens, and then wipe that on the floor. If you've seen my other videos, you know I like to do that. Well, my name is Matt, so it belongs on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to tuck it into the outside corner and snap it in. It still needs to come down just a little bit, so I'm actually going to put this back in and take it down just 1/10 of a millimeter. And this is going to go round and round again, but this time it's not going to go on the cutting wheel. It's just going to go straight to the bevel wheel and just make it a little bit smaller all the way around. So everyone starts off selling you plastic lenses, and then you can upgrade to polycarbonate, and then you can upgrade to the aspheric polycarbonate, and that's what you were getting from me. That's where I start at, which is everyone else's third tier of upgrades, and you get that from me. I start there and I can go up from there. But I have access to any frame out there. I can put any prescription in any frame. My website is slow in being built. I cut lenses 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm not complaining. I love what I do, but I just don't have time to supervise the guy who do the website and answer questions for him fast enough. So it takes him a little time to get every frame listed. If there's a frame you want that you don't see, just email me and I'll make sure it gets put up on the website for you. I can generally ship any prescription within 24 hours. Transition I do have to order, and I can have them ready for shipping within 24 hours, as long as I have the frame in stock, and I try and stock everything. Although it is getting difficult to stock every frame in every color in every size, but I do my best, and if need be I can get it overnighted to me. Alright, it's coming back out again. Let me dry this off. Now I'm going to try and pop your lens in. What I do is I start at the outside corner, and using my thumbs I push down at the nose, and that one snaps right in. So let's cut the left lens. Set that there for 1 second. Flip it over to the left, and let's hit start. Same procedure as before. This is just a routine, mundane procedure that I cannot override. It's going to trace the shape of your frame onto the lens to make sure the lens is large enough. But in emails, people like to watch it trace, so I'm going to stay right here for just a moment until it starts cutting and let you enjoy this. This is at reader's request, the fan mail that I get. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, while this is cutting, I'm going to keep working on your right lens. Now every frame has a different color rider. So if you go to Luxottica, is the parent company who owns Polo and Ray-Ban and Versace and Prada and Dolce & Gabbana and several more. So if you go to Luxottica, which is spelled Luxottica, and look up Polo, Ralph Lauren, you'll see all the different colors of the 2103, and you get a different color rider with every different color sold. So I'm going to take the block off this right lens, dry this some more, put a red dot on here so I can measure your pupillary distance. And let's see, this is -1 1/4 sphere. Put this into my Marco 101 lensometer, and I'm getting 1 1/4 sphere. Of course, let me just check that there's no unwanted astigmatism. Nope, just as I suspected. Now, this is the Polo version of what I'm wearing. It looks like the Ray-Ban New Wayfarer. The only difference between the Polo and mine is that this frame costs $40 more than the frame I'm wearing. But it's pretty much the same design. It does have a little bit skinnier temples, but it's very, very close in shape. Now I'm wearing the smaller of the New Wayfarer. This does come in two sizes, a 55 and a 53. This is closer to the 55 eye size, and I think I've got one here in the black rubber. Is this a 55? I do. So if I hold a 55 new Wayfarer over that is very, very close, and just out of curiosity, if I pop the right lens out, let's see if it fits into the frame of the new Wayfarer. Nope, it's just a little bit bigger. So the Polo is just a hair larger than the Ray-Ban 2132 size 55. Pop your lens back in and wait for the left to get ready. Let me turn this card over so when I'm working, you don't see anyone else's personal information. So now it's putting the bevel onto the lens. Now the little optical bath. In less than a minute we'll be done, and we'll pop the left lens in and check and see. If anyone else out there has any questions about what's possible, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com, and I'll be sure to get them answered as quick as I can. I do check emails while I'm cutting lenses while I'm not filming. And actually, let me check my email now to see if there's anything. Nope, no emails, just my updates have finished uploading. Okay. Take this out, dry it off, put the safety bevel on. Now this wheel is completely flat, it just works on friction, and that's what it uses to put the safety bevel on. I'm going to scrape off any unwanted sawdust, if you will, optical sawdust. And now let's try and pop your left lens into the frame. I start at the outside corner closest to me, and using my thumbs I push down at the nose and it snaps in perfectly. I'm going to take this block off. Off comes the block. Let me try that again. Let me put a red dot where your optical center goes. And your PD is 74.5. I'm going to hold this up. And if all goes well, which it will measure 74.5, just shy of the 75 tick if my GoPro camera is good enough. Now the pupillary distance is perfect. Now I'm going to put this in here and check your power of the left lens, -1, -50 at 103. I'm going to spin the axis wheel of my Marco 101 lensometer to 103. Put that in. I'm getting -1. Hopefully you can see that. -50. You have 2 steps of astigmatism correction, which is perfect. Now very quickly I'm going to take my optical grade acetone and clean your lenses off. Get those red dots off, and then I'm going to show you how they darken. We clean this up, and one more quick step I want to do. I did mention that every optical shop does free adjustments, but one thing I do before shipping out to you is make sure the frame is in standard alignment, meaning that when I put it on the counter, there is no wobble. Flip it over. That looks good. Make sure that each hinge lines up with the same amount of tension on there. We are good to go. Let me move these trays out of the way. And now I'm going to darken your lenses. You can see how they are clear now. I'm going to put them in my little transitions unit, which just has UV light in there. And you'll see them turn dark within about 30 to 45 seconds. Now all transition lenses will turn dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks. They're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks till they get to their final setting. After that, you'll have years of maximum performance. The only time they won't work perfectly is if you're in the in the driver's seat or passenger. In case you're in a traditional car. A traditional windshield is going to absorb all the sun's ultraviolet rays so your lenses don't darken. The reason they do that is so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun or your upholstery doesn't rot. Now they will turn dark in a convertible or a motorcycle, just not behind the windshield of a traditional car. They do get darker in the cooler temperatures, meaning that once it gets up into the 90s and especially the high 90s, they won't get as dark as they do in the 70s and 80s. Of course, the cooler it gets, the darker it gets, ironically. But when it's in the upper 90s, you're hot, they're hot, everyone's miserable. So now you can see the dark lenses, and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks. Tyree, I really appreciate you letting me cut the lenses for you. You could have gotten your frames from anyone, but you got them from the guy who's going to give you the free prescription lenses. Well played, sir. So that's it. Hopefully it's been entertaining for you to watch your glasses being made. If I can be of any help to you, just email me. I'm only an email away, and this is one of the many, 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 many ways I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.